So I have about 2 weeks left to my contract. Tomorrow's Friday. After that, it'll be 2 weeks left to my contract in Montana. And I still don't know where I'm going next. Because oftentimes what will happen when you're traveling is places don't want people who can't start right away. So I need to be available right away. So I applied like 2 weeks ago. I started and I got denied a bunch of places because they're like, nope, her start date is too far out. So try again in a couple weeks. So that's now what we're doing. My recruiter and I have been talking, and we are going to try applying to the places that I already applied to again. So that's, I guess, one of the really stressful things about being a traveler is not knowing where you're going next. You have, only a couple weeks left to your contract, and right now what we're trying to figure out is, are we gonna go home to Wisconsin first and see our family, or are we going straight to our contract? And that all depends on where the next contract is, because Montana, as everyone knows, is in the northwest part of America. And if, for instance, we were to end up in Florida, our GPS has us going through Wisconsin to get to Florida. Well, then obviously we're gonna visit family. But let's say we're going to Texas. Well, Texas is just kind of more straight south, so we're obviously not going to go through Wisconsin. So it's like my mom wants to plan, she knows I won't be home for Thanksgiving either way, so she wants to plan like a Thanksgiving dinner, but she doesn't know if we're coming home yet or not. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's just really hard to plan your life when you're waiting on your next contract. And any day now, I know my phone will ring and I'll fall in love with a contract. I'll fall in love with like whatever they have to tell me over the phone. But as of now, I've talked to about 3 different places, maybe 4 now actually. I talked to another one today. And I'm applying to do open heart surgery. This contract here in Montana, there's no open heart. So if you do open heart, you know how intense it is, and it can be a lot to think about, a lot to remember. There's a lot of skills involved, and if you don't use them, you lose them. And oftentimes employers, when they're looking at a travel nurse, they want you to have a recent experience in open heart. So if I take too many contracts between that are not open heart and that are just like general surgery, then more than likely I will not ever get hired to do open heart again. So I look for something on my travel company's website called CVOR, Cardiovascular Operating Room. And so I've applied, and some of the places I've talked to, they say, oh, well, yeah, we do hearts 5 times a month. That was one of them. Like, there's another heart hospital in the area. Our hospital just does like some hearts. Well, that tells me I'm going to be doing a lot of general surgery and not a lot of hearts. And I just did that at this last contract. I can't do another contract like that. So they understand. Hospitals are actually really nice about understanding like what you need. And at least from what I found, and hopefully I can find something that is more consistent hearts. That being said, my last contract was in Florida, and I talked to the manager there because I actually use her as a reference, professional reference. And then there's another nurse that I worked with who kind of would like be backup manager when that manager was gone. So I used both of them as personal references, and they both just told me that there is an opening there. Where it's CVR, I'd be doing hearts regularly. So of course I'm thinking about it because I loved them there. I loved the doctors. I thought it was like the perfect first contract for me to ever do because it was just, everyone was so sweet and understanding that it was my first travel contract, and like, I don't know, and the fact that they all want me to come back to is just like a big compliment, you know, it just makes me feel good. So anyway, that is in Florida. Florida is one of the areas I'm looking to go to right now because it's about to be, it is October right now, and I would start beginning of November, so it's definitely a possibility that I will apply there again. Lots to think about though. That place, it's, you know, I can't go to the beach on call when I'm at that specific hospital because that hospital is about 45 minutes away from like the nearest good beach. So I'm actually going hardcore looking at beach locations all throughout Florida, and I'm like, I don't know, just applying anywhere I can. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of like explain that one of the difficulties about being a travel nurse is knowing where you're going next. And not only is that a difficulty, but it's actually also, it's kind of exciting because you're looking through a bunch of different like locations that you think, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to visit there, or oh my gosh, that sounds really cool. Haven't thought about it before, but I totally could see our family having a good time there. So I think it's exciting and scary because we're gonna be living in our fifth wheel. We have been living in our fifth wheel this whole time, and I wanna find a place that's safe, that has really good like RV parks, and so I don't know, there's just a lot to think about. But so it's fun and it's also stressful.